What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Say More podcast. We are at episode 40. I rather you say 40 because you're so cute when you say it.
40.
40. We're episode
40.
40. We're episode 40 today. And we're so glad to have you along the Say More podcast for another episode. And sorry, I just kind of had a blank because I'm like, did we actually spoke about the NPC workshop last week or no? I think we did.
I don't think we did. We haven't, no, we haven't yet. Because I think
Bro, I
yeah,
haven't
you
talked to you
went.
in so long.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
hasn't been a while. It's been a while. So yeah, how has your week been? What does it look like?
um, honestly, this week has been kicking my butt in like the best way possible. Meaning that I've been very tired, but it's also has been a very slow, interesting, triggering almost slow. You know when it's slow, like, and it's just not busy, and it
Yeah.
triggered like it. I mean, I got triggered every day. I was like, this is not normal. Like I
Slow
should
as
be
in what?
running around.
As in like prep wise?
No, slow as like I had time to do everything. A little bit
Oh,
even
got
more
you.
time. I was kind of like trying to make the day go kind of faster. Like I
Got you. Yeah.
found myself like making days go faster, like putting myself to bed. Like, so yeah, it was a little hard, but I mean, it was necessary because of the week that's ahead. So, and I think I was, dealing with the time of the month, like all these things, but I don't know, it was very spaced. Like everything
Yeah.
was so, like I wasn't back to back with appointments. I wasn't like, but I think sometimes you do feed your day with like things that are unnecessary. But I
Yeah.
just felt triggered by how much kind of time I had this week to do
Yeah.
things. So that has been interesting, to be honest. But
Yeah.
how's your week been? How's everything? I mean, you're small. Your face is in.
I mean, it's to be fair, when you said, your week has been like slow, mine's been the exact same, where it's felt like it's just been like we found our routine now. So I've been in Vegas now for the last like 2 weeks. So we found our
Mm-hmm.
routine, which is like I'll get up, come to the center, pose, take photos, go for a 40-minute walk around the block because I want to try and get some like active movement in, and like where we are is like near it like a golf course, and it's nice because you can like smell the grass, and it's like it's not cold, but it's a nice fresh morning. So I'm like, I
Crispy
want to take
breeze.
advantage of that. Yeah, I want to take advantage of that and like use that up. So found my little routine like in the morning. So obviously do that, go for a walk, um, do posing, come back, have breakfast, make my meals, then go back to the prep center at around like midday, 1 o'clock, train, do the rest of my cardio. And usually that takes up quite a lot of time because I'll come to the prep center at like 1:12, work, train, do cardio, and we'll probably won't leave until like 6 o'clock, and then
Mm.
get back, shower, and then by the time like we've done all of that, it's like okay, cool, it's time to go to bed. So me and Max will sit on the sofa at 8 o'clock till probably like 10, and then like do bits on our phone, watch film or whatever, and then go to bed. And that's been our routine, like literally all week.
Ah,
And I know what you mean, where it's like it's felt nice that it's just literally been that, but it felt like it. Some days felt slow, some days felt really fast. I was like, how are we at 10 o'clock right now? And I've done all of this stuff today. Felt like I've done nothing today. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
I completely get that. Where it's been the exact same for me. It's been nice this week though. I feel like progress has been made. Like a lot of good progress has been made. I felt tired. Like this week has been tiring. Like you wake up and you're like not feeling it, but
Oh.
obviously you get it done regardless. So that's kind of been my week, but it's been a good week. It's been a good week.
That's good, babe. I think you know what also like the fact that I've I'm not going to the grocery store every other day now because that used to be my thing too. I would just love to go to the grocery store, but it's honestly becoming such a waste of time and there's so much traffic now. I'm just like, okay, let me,
Yeah.
go ahead, take them as much as I can
Mm.
and oh my God, I need like I need to I feel like every time that I post a post about what I eat, whatever I eat just goes out of stock. So my green beans,
Really?
French greens me were out of stock. My eggs were out of stock. I'm like,
That's so
this is,
funny.
yeah, it's very
And you're
interesting.
like, it's like the
But
universe telling you, like, don't post your shit because people are just gonna buy,
it's so funny.
it, and you're like, please don't do this to me.
Mhm. It's so funny.
But
But yeah, there's a lot to catch up on. I feel like
mm,
there's been obviously the NPC seminar that I've been last
yes,
week.
how
That was
was that?
amazing. Babe, it was like 400, like over 425 people. There's a
Wow.
lot. That was a lot of people, but it's so well organized because
Mm,
obviously Sandy is like a promoter. Like it's like she, it was just so well organized. Like she's so well
mm,
surrounded. Everything was great. It was awesome to see the ladies. I think she said that she's gonna keep it, on January, which is great. To set the tone for the year. It's like a
yeah,
little bit after the Olympia. I mean, honestly, I still feel like the Olympia was literally 8 months ago, like a full year. Like I feel like
yeah.
it's
It
been
wasn't even that
so
long.
long. And then I'm jumping into another topic. We'll go back to the NPC workshop, but I just texted my videographer because I have this like little young local guy in Columbus and he's been filming me since I'm doing the Arnold. So like every year I'm just like, hey, it's that time again. And like I just texted him this morning and I'm like, bro, it's that time again. Like, how the hell, like, is that time again? Like, the last text was like, thank you for the Zal. Like, how? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I'm like, Happy New Year. It's that time again. Like, are you available? Like, crazy, And we've been doing that like for like 4 years now, back to back. And it's just like the
that's so
weirdest,
nice
oddest
though.
thing. So, like, time has just been a weird, really weird thing. Anywho, going back to the NPC workshop. Um, Very, very cool day. Went by so quickly. I got to see, obviously, a lot of amazing people. I mean, all the Olympia, Women's Olympia, Ashley and I were able to do this like little uh, Q&A thing for social media. And
I saw that.
yeah, that was really cool. Really, really cool. And yeah, I think, I oh my God, how can I say? Everything went really well. And then I, there's something that happened and I felt like I didn't dealt with properly. Like it's not, it's the way that I showed up and it's not necessarily like a professional manner. Like I got the job done, but emotionally, I think I could have done, I've handled like um, something happened and I think I've never dealt with that before. And I just mishandled it a little bit. And I'll ask you the same. So I want to know if you've ever been in a room with someone who's mishandled you or like screw you over or like somewhere where you had to keep face with someone that did you wrong. Like,
Yeah.
did that ever happen to you before?
Yes, it's happened to me a few times, and like, there's specific things that I have to like make sure that I can let go before, because you most of the time with these types of situations, if there's someone that is that you're in the same room as someone that you're not particularly a fan of, or you don't get on, or you don't see eye to eye, if I know that I'm gonna see that person on that day, I try and make sure, like, before I've kind of entered the room or before I kind of go to that event, emotionally, try and detach from any, I say any anger or any. negative emotions towards them because you're in the public eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
hard to obviously do because sometimes your emotions obviously do take over and you're just like you just get annoyed or
What if
pissed
it
off
takes you by surprise? Like, surprise.
because you're literally me.
Satan is
That's me.
here.
I'm like I'm organized. Like I'm
Surprise.
gonna organize myself to figure out all these emotions
To
before I see
emotionally
them.
regulate. You're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
organize to emotionally regulate in front. Okay, so let's say it's the morning and Satan is here. Like, now what? First
Yeah.
of all, who would do you wrong? Like, I don't really know, but like, that's another
Oh,
topic.
there's
But
been plenty. Don't worry. There
how
has
the
been
fuck?
plenty. Yeah, there has been
I
plenty.
mean, we'll have to
But
talk about this because I don't know how you can do Phoebe wrong. Like, I mean, karma is gonna be a bitch to you, my friend, if you did Phoebe wrong. Like, how can you do so
oh,
wrong to you? I mean, every babe, so many girls came to me. Where's Phoebe? Like, I wish Phoebe was here. Please
I
give a hug to
know.
Phoebe. Like, many of them.
I
And
know.
bro,
Because
we're
then
killing it. Like,
loads of people tagged Say More as well from the
yeah,
seminar, and that was really
yeah.
cute to see.
And it's so cool. And, like, some girls were coming with like their besties, and they were like, "She's my Phoebe to my Lauralie." Like, like,
Stop.
baby, a whole vibe, and it's just
Oh, I
like
love
it's
that.
inspiring, like, friendship and like topic and discussions and stuff. So shout out to all the girls that are listening right now that came to say hi at the seminar and give a little word to like Phoebe. So I'm sure like your ears were buzzing like all day because there's been a lot of them. So that was
Oh,
really, really, that was super cute and super, like, just so lovely.
yeah.
And that's even more so why I'm so mad at myself that it took on my emotions so much. And I think, I can give so many
Mm.
excuses about, like, oh, obviously it's prep, like I'm already like, but I was surrounded by so many great people and, like, people coming at me with like so much love. And I was just like so overwhelmed. And I think I honestly felt so much anxiety. Like, it was like a really weird,
Okay.
dysregulated moment. And,
Yeah.
babe, it took me, I think I'm still like, when I texted you, I think it was Wednesday evening. I just had started recovering from that emotional
Yeah.
dysregulation because it was a whole, like, I left the event as soon as it was over. I said goodbye to everybody, and I left. I was in my room.
Yeah,
I packed,
immediately.
like, I packed immediately. Like, I had another, like, night over there. I packed everything. I drove, babe. I drove nonstop. I didn't stop one time. I didn't drink any water for 3 hours, and I didn't stop one time. I was like, I just need to go home, and it
Yeah.
was just so much anxiety. Like, anyone who's dealing with anxiety, like, on a daily, not daily, but like frequent basis, like, it was honestly horrible, and it has just been so. It drained me for until
A
that
while.
Wednesday. And then that Wednesday I started like recoup, and then obviously period starts, like, so it's been a week. It's just been a
Yeah.
freaking week of like
It's been a lot.
regulating, and then like now I'm seeing the sun again, but I can't wait for tomorrow, Monday. Like, I'm gonna get an IV to start the week right, and just what's next for us is Pittsburgh. So we can dive
Yeah.
into that if you want to,
Yeah.
because I'm
I
excited for
mean,
you to go.
I I'm excited as well. I think what I'm gonna do is well, what we're doing is we're literally going, like we're not even staying over like hotel wise. We're literally flying in, flying out. Yeah, we found a flight that somehow fits that we can literally technically arrive and leave on the same day. So we're
Which
literally
airline?
just doing that. I think it's Spirit. It's not going to be the greatest, I know, but we've got to get in
Babe,
and out.
just bring your
In and out.
lunchbox. You know how to travel. Like, you bring your lunchbox, you bring your heels, like little duffel bag, and
Yeah,
in and out.
that's all we need.
That's gonna be a trip, but I think it's a very good call
Yeah.
to do
So
it
we
that
don't have
way.
to waste time or be there for longer than we need to or anything like that. So it's literally we arrive I think at like 6 a.m. in the morning and then we obviously see JM at 12. So I think in between that time we'll probably be doing our cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Cardio, get ready, coffee, go to the gym, do the interview. Obviously, train a little bit there if we are going to train. I can't remember if we're going to train before or after. I'm not too sure. And then we out. Then our flight's at 6 o'clock. So
Is it going to be your first time?
no, I've been there before.
Oh,
I don't know if actually if we've been to the new one. No, I have been. I've been to the new one before. Have I been to the new one before?
did you? Oh, wait, I'm looking you up on NPC News right now.
I've been to. I've been to.
Yeah, you did. You went to the new
Yeah,
one.
I've
Yeah,
been to the new one. Yeah,
2022.
yeah. I thought so. I didn't know if they changed it in 2022 or 2023. I couldn't remember, but I didn't go last year. But I went in 2022.
Oh shit, no. You never went to the first one to the new one.
I
I think.
went to
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
old
you did.
one.
Sorry, babe.
I went to the old one for the
The
Arnold's
Arnold's.
2022, and
Okay.
then
Yes.
2022 Olympia was the new one. So that's
Got
where
it.
I went. That was the change, and then yeah, then I didn't go last year because we couldn't get time. We couldn't fit in time. So yeah, we're going this year. So, but I know
Who are
very
you
exciting.
traveling
It
with?
feels. I am going with Courtney, Sam, and Max, which is going to be fun. So it's like all of us because obviously Courtney is obviously one of the wellness girls that's doing the Arnold's pro debut. So that's exciting. And then Max obviously is coming along because he's my little sidekick. And then Sam's obviously Courtney's coach. So we're all going to go together and kind of like chill. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to be fair as well. So I'm excited for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Babe, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I know. I've been with Ashley before, but not like a group of us. So I'm
And
excited
with
for like,
Max. And with
yeah,
Max, bro. Like,
yeah.
you're gonna be able to like record. Max gonna have such a good time with JM. Like, are you kidding?
They're gonna
Like
talk so much stuff.
these two are going to go ham. Next thing you know, Max has like a job with like the NPC. He's gonna record the show. Just watch. Just watch like after this trip. I'm
Watch
so
it all
excited for
unfold.
you.
Watch it
I'm
all
so
unfold.
I'm so excited for you. That's so cool. I wish I would have like scheduled my trip a little bit differently, but you're gonna be nonstop. So like, because I'm going right before you, but I'm leaving the
Yeah,
same day to New York. So I'm flying in the Wednesday night. So there's always this like, because there's no way for me to fly in the morning because
no,
it wouldn't work. Um, which is weird because we're literally right there. We're so close.
yeah, so
But
close.
anyways, so I'm flying Wednesday night. I'm getting there like around midnight so that way I can go to bed at like the same hotel I always go. There's like a walking distance Target, walking distance Starbucks. We're Gucci, and then I'm gonna be able to like settle in just a little bit. Get my cardio in the hotel, like same kind of routine. Sorry, and then Kim is flying in actually, so he's gonna pick me up from the hotel, which is also crazy. Like, how is this man traveling
I honestly
California?
don't know
Like,
how he travelled that much.
and Phoebe's like he lives like over an hour away from the airport. So every time, and obviously he's there 3 hours ahead. So every time it's like a 4 hour, like how? I don't know. So anywho, so he's gonna come and like pick me up, and then we're gonna go there at 11 a.m., get it done, and then we're going back to the airport. And Andrea is coming as
Nice.
well, the little wellness I don't know why I said the little wellness, the
No,
wellness
but you always said
competitor.
that they little wellness competitor.
Because she's a
Yeah,
baby. She's like
yeah.
22. So my little wellness competitor. So that's gonna be fun because I'm like the OG, the old like I'm like JM is like obviously not excited about me coming like for the
Yeah.
freaking 10th time,
He
like
always is. I reckon he always is.
he's so funny, but I'm like, it's exciting for Andrea, because she gets, the first time, and I can't wait to see how she experienced it. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm excited about. So I'm so glad that, I'm obviously going to see Kim. I checked in with him this morning. We're in a good spot. We're very happy
Oh,
with,
that's good.
the physique, which it's a good practice run, quote unquote. We're not
Yeah.
there yet, but it's a good practice run, which with the travel and everything. So very, very happy that I'm gonna be able to see him in person.
Yeah.
Because that's always great. You know, it's always very different when you're able to see in
Yeah.
person. Um, so that's
No, I know what
that.
you
I mean,
mean.
I'm going
It's
there
exciting.
on Thursday, and then I'm flying to New York the same day, and then I'm staying in New York for a couple days.
Ooh, what's that for?
So in New York, two of my friends, Karen and Juan's, are there, and I'm gonna go hang out with them, train at Bev's gym,
Nice.
Steve Weinberger's gym, and he's holding a seminar there, NPC workshop, and Jay Cutler happens to be there. It's gonna be from like 1 to 4 p.m.
Oh,
And
nice.
Sadiq is going to be there. There's a lot of like catching up to do with like
Yeah.
some pals, and I mean there's honestly the top three gyms in the world. Best gym is right there, you know.
Yeah.
So I love going there. And now that I have the house like that I go to, it's like it's good for me to hang out there. So I'm staying a little bit extra even, so I can have that little New
Just
York
good
little,
routine.
yeah, little downtime, little just have time. I just want to have
Mm-hmm.
time. But I'm
Yeah.
coming back Sunday afternoon, so that's that for the next couple days.
Yeah, because you're traveling a lot as well this week, these next like final weeks, which is obviously like we discussed it
Yes,
before, but it's weird for you because obviously you usually are quite stay still, stand
cocoon.
still.
I'm
Yeah,
very cocoonish.
exactly.
But
We've
I
swapped
think,
roles.
yeah, definitely. But honestly, babe, I think it's good practice because I can't just go from a cocoon from like for like 19 weeks, which I've done for the last prep, because social anxiety just hits me like a ton of brick, and like I need to deal with that. When you're in your constant routine just by yourself, seeing the same people every day, which I love, but then you get out of touch with like your social
Yeah,
abilities, I feel like. Or I
yeah.
don't know if it's social
No, no, no.
abilities, but
I 100% get that. And do you feel like you get that not a lot, but do you? Because obviously we are constantly, we seeing people a lot. We're in the public eye a lot of the time. Do you feel like you experience it more now than what you used to?
the social anxiety part, or
Yeah, like, like feeling the
I
feeling
feel
of it.
it more now because I'm more home. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm out, it becomes uncomfortable. But before, my uncomfort was home.
Yeah,
And then, now it's like switched completely. Like now I'm like a
yeah.
little homebody. Like I love seeing the same people every day. Like I barely go to other gyms. Like before I was like going to other gyms and then, like changing the vibes and just like keeping myself on my toes. I feel that, traveling does that to you. You need to like
Yeah.
be on your toes all the time. You're coming here, you're barely like you're almost living in a suitcase, and it's kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
grind. Like now I find comfort in my own little cocoon, but it doesn't have to be for too long. So like I'm ready
Yeah.
to travel. I'm ready to get that going, and it's going to be every other weekend, which allows me to have my 5 days at least at the house, which is 5 days of workout. I'm not training glutes anymore, by the way. Like
What at
until
all?
no, not until we're seeing them. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
glutes
my
are a
god.
little big. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, we'll touch on that
Yeah.
in a second, but I mean that's good that you are realizing your own social kind of abilities, like we said, and you're like, I don't know if that's the word, but like I understand that because like sometimes remember we were sat there before the podcast, the live event, and I remember we were saying we were nervous for it because I was like, we haven't done these events for a while. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how the people are going to be. I don't know if they're going to like it. And you start to build up these things in your head. And you're like, oh my God, I'm worried now. Once you're in it, you're like, this is fine. This is Gucci. This is good. But I think it's that thought beforehand that kind of builds it up a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I would call it like social battery. Like, and especially when we're in prep, we're like, where is my social battery going to be in the
Yeah.
morning. And you remember Sunday, my battery was like up the roof, and yours was
Yeah.
like, bro, like
Down.
struggling. And
Yeah.
then, you get a coffee, and then your social battery like kind of like gets going. But
Boost.
sometimes, like, I remember, my God, a seminar that I went, which I'm going again this weekend. Babe, it was so bad. Like, I just had the
Really?
most social battery like the first day, and then the second day,
Complete different person.
I couldn't even be in the event. But also I was like prepping, but I think I was falling it. I went to bed at the top. Like, they have a room on over the gym, and I had to like go lay down. That's that's how
Oh.
much. So I need to be aware that I can only give so much, because I
Yeah.
used to be like you. I would be like, I'm, not on my meals, like not this. But then it's like you do one day like that, and then the next day
You
you're
can't.
wrecked out of your mind. Like,
Yeah.
and you need to at least put all the chances that you can on your side of things. So it's tricky, because you feel good, like in the moment, you're in the moment, you feel good, you're adrenaline, but you need to understand that you have a social battery, you're like a battery in general, and like being able to sprinkle it wisely.
Yeah. Instead of just using
Does
it all
that
at once.
yeah, does that resonate with you?
Yeah, because there's been times where, like, I think back to, well, last year and even 2022, obviously, in between preps, I always do a lot. And it only gets till probably around, like 8 weeks out where I'm probably, like, just standstill, like, no traveling, no nothing. Well, I say 8 weeks out, probably around 6 weeks out. But so around 6 weeks out ish time is where I'm, like, standstill. But before that, it's usually like events, trying to do things, trying to go places, which is if fine. I don't mind that, but I understand where you're coming from in terms of like making sure that you're like, okay, let's focus on the meals, let's focus on this, which is what you should do anyway. But I think when you're in the moment, you think, oh, it's okay, I can just delay it, I can delay it, and like you said, the next day, I always feel worse the next day when I've had that like massive boost of like having to, be social and this. Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. And it's tough because you want to, like, in the moment, sometimes you're like, I just want to, like, be with these people and, like,
You don't think about it. It's not like
no.
a thought process. Like, you're not really aware, because it goes so fast and you're so into it. And next thing you know, you're like, shoot. Now you're waking up in the morning, and it's just like you just don't have it. It's just,
Yeah,
like, babe, I can't understand you so much when you're just like, I'm not. You don't even have to say a word. I'm like, I just know. It's like it's just empty, and there's
yeah,
just nothing you can pull out. Like, you cannot pull out
yeah.
anything
There's just
from
no,
you.
there's just no, there's no conversation there. There's no like thought process at all. It's just a case of like, bro, I'm just tired. Like I'm just tired, and like people that are listening obviously could probably relate to this in terms of just social events with friends, because I've been there as well. Even when I had to drag myself out and it's a friend's birthday, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna go because it's my friend's birthday. It's my girl's, like whatever, and I'll just be like nothing. There's nothing in there. There's nothing going on upstairs. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I would. It's hard because sometimes I would rather not turn up if I'm that person versus not give my all. Does that make sense? Because like,
Of
especially when it
course,
comes to
yeah.
friends, I don't want to like just sit there and be like a bag of emotionless nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard and you have to make those choices and be like, look, I'm not going to come today because I'm not myself. And I've done that many a time where I've just been like, look, I can't, I won't even be able to enjoy the time there. You won't be able to enjoy me being there because I'm just not myself, which happens, it happens on prep, especially when we're tired, we've got loads going on.
And it can honestly happen like in a 30-minute difference. Like, I could
Yeah,
be, let's go to the park. I want to go on a walk around the golf. It has to be right then and then. Like, it cannot be like, oh, we're going in, it's just wait me finish this, and then we'll go. I can't. Like, we
I
can't
need to go
afford
now.
this. Like, it's either now, like, we're rising upon the occasion, because if we're not taking it, like, I don't know. It might be like, hopefully it keeps on going, but I really don't know. I really
Yeah,
don't know.
that's funny. But I mean, yeah, social battery is always a funny one because obviously sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it as well. Like you just have to keep smiling and waving in certain events or whatnot. Like you were saying before, like sometimes
Yeah.
you just have to smile and wave and then continue to do what you need to do after. Or you just leave early, or you say, "Look, I'm not feeling myself." If you can, if you have that option. If it's friends, I feel like you can leave early and they wouldn't be bothered. But obviously, if it's a scheduled event that you're at, sometimes you just have to smile and wave until it's finished. Or obviously, just pick what you need to do and choose you instead of kind of going through all of that. Um,
Yeah, totally, totally. I think also like reflecting back is a really good thing, and I think I was able to do that like driving back. I mean, driving back I was like a wreck, but from that event I was like I really, I showed up professionally. Like I'm sure a lot of like nobody really saw a difference, like
no.
at all. But of course I'm critical of myself and I'm just like I could have handled things better, and that's just me growing as a human. And like I said, it's been an interesting week, like coming down from that, crisis of anxiety and then understanding this, and then how am I going to be able to like let these things go in the future? Like, because of course, like people that care about you, they're like, you shouldn't let that affect you and stuff. And it's like, it's already too late. Like, it's too
Yeah,
late.
it's
So
already
the
affected me.
work, the work needs to be done right now as we're talking, because
Yeah,
I don't want to let that happen to me again because it's horrible. It
yeah,
feels horrible. And the thing is, like, with anxiety, when you're in it, like, there's just nothing you can do. You really feel like you're gonna die.
yeah.
Like, it's just not great. And
No.
there's no pills to it. Like, I don't want to be on a constant mellow. Like, I want to save myself as much as I can. And it's like,
Yeah,
well, I'm not gonna not go to this event because I get so much out of, and it's so much what I want to do. But yet, if I
yeah,
have to face those events again, how am I going to do it? And emotional regulation or just growth or therapy in general, like if you're going through it now, like you know how hard and difficult it is, and it's always like a evolving. It's a constant thing, bro. Like it's
yeah,
like it does it and never stops. Like the journey of growing, it never stops. And same thing with we can relate in bodybuilding in a way. Like you're always a new person with like new goals. Like you can never look back at a prep and be like,
yeah.
okay, this is
The
how it
same
has to be
thing.
now. It's never copy paste. So it's like a bro, life. It's an interesting experience. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
I mean, what would you do to try and improve your social anxiety? Like, if you ever get those, situations again or anything like that, what would you do to, I guess, improve it now? Like, now that you've kind of gone through it, what would you do differently, potentially?
Bro, I think I'm not gonna let that happen, period. Like
Okay.
it's not even it's the mindset of like, okay, let's say someone comes at you, right? And they're like, "Hey, Phoebe, do you want a drink?" There's two answers you can give. You can either say, "I'm trying not to drink," or "I do not drink." Like, see how you show
Yeah.
up in different ways and how much it leaves like a open door. Try not to drink. It's like, oh, but if I push a little, come on, Phoebes, like you, like just
Yeah.
a little drink. But if you're like, I do not drink, like answer
That's
is answered,
closed. Yeah.
close. So I'm not gonna let that happen. Period.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I was about to say,
Yeah.
like, and if it does, like, no, it's like I'm not gonna let this happen because I'm so aware of how it affected me and like how I didn't like how it happened and
Yeah.
the way that it happened, that it just, if I had this same, if I had to go back to the like NP system, like doing the same thing over, it was just not be happening, period.
Yeah.
It would just not affect me. It would just roll over my shoulder. It would just be like, you're worthy enough, self-soothing methods of, I don't really know how, but self-soothe, sometimes it's just about, why are you reacting that way? Why are you letting that affect you? Like,
Yeah.
why a presence affects you? Like, it's
Yeah.
just so, there's so much positive. And I think now it's just really like that time that I have now, that I was a little bit more slow, the ability of like slowing down, being present, seeing the positive into everything, because there's so much to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Um,
That's always the
being
hardest part, though. I think in that moment, when you're in the moment and you're feeling it, sometimes it's hard to see those positives. So I think it's really good that you are literally going to be like, as soon as I start to feel like that, you're going to fucking shut it down straight away and be like, no, because I'm not going to go to
because
that
no,
place again. Yeah, because no.
hmm
Just because no. I'm not going to
yeah,
go to that place again. And I think that's really good because I definitely am one person to spiral. If I start to feel like that, I'll start to spiral a little bit in my head. No one will see it in the moment, but I'll start to spiral a little bit. And then it will affect me later on. So I think that's good that you're like, I'm just not even going to fucking let it bother me whatsoever. Because a certain situation happened to me, not recently, but like a few months ago, where it was kind of similar, where it was like, not person wise, but something happened that I could have spiraled from. But in the moment, I was like, okay, find the positives from this, because like whatever this situation is, find the positives right now so you can feel good about why this is happening versus the negatives. And immediately I shut it down because I was like, I'm not, because it was like an event and all this type of stuff. I was like, I'm not letting it ruin this because it's such a great thing that I'm doing right now. So I don't want to let it ruin it. And I remember that moment was a great growth period for me, because usually I would be like, fuck this, and like spiral and be like, oh, this is happening and this is going on and this is this. And it would spiral. So I think that's good that that answer's a good answer, where you're just like, no, it's not, it's just not going to happen anymore. And I think anyone that's listening that has kind of either social anxiety or gets that type of situation where it's been like, okay, you've been either confronted or you don't feel comfortable in a situation, you have to try and pick out the positives from it and also just shut it down immediately if you can in that moment. It's easier said than done, obviously, but it's something that I think happens a lot in just life in general, and I think we kind of dismiss it a lot of the times, or not. And it's not really talked about sometimes because people are like, "Oh no, you're just talking to people, you're fine," but sometimes it doesn't feel like that.
yeah, no, it's really down rooted. Like, it's like, imagine being a carrot and you're the orange part and it's down inside the earth. Sorry, like I always come
I
back to
love
like frick.
that.
You're a carrot, you're down the earth. But what people have on the outside that can see
Yeah.
from you is the greenery. So you need to keep whatever is going down there to be able to still flourish on the outside. Like the green and what people see, like where they want to pick you up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the internal work. And I think that's maturity as well, to know when to not let that come into the surface of things, because that's what people are going to remember. If I
Yeah.
had, you know, let's say I would have been like, a little rushed, or just, not stay, like not
Calm.
show up in the best way that I could, because I didn't self-regulate on my orange part and kept that healthy, then it's resurfaced, and that's when you have troubles with relationships or events or whatever. And I think us, obviously, as professional and in what we do on a daily basis, like thankfully we're happy people, like 100,
Yeah.
like 99%
I
of the
know what you
time, like
mean.
these things doesn't happen. But if we had to deal with a lot of things and still have to keep faith, like that work needs to be done,
Before.
like almost every day, to be honest. Like, I think it's not very much. I mean, you see it sometimes, like you go to Starbucks and you're like, wow, that person is not having a good day today. But that
Yeah.
person, it makes I mean, I'm sorry for what you're going through, and sometimes it's really difficult. But if it's just because your boyfriend didn't get you like the latest Birkin bags, like you don't have to let
Yeah.
everyone feel your anger.
Yeah.
Self-soothe, like try to self-regulate and show up, especially in a professional event, to be able to wear that hat properly,
Yeah.
you know? And obviously, I mean, there's so many vocation. Like when you think about, you know, all the nurses, the doctors, the lawyers, like um trainers, like they need to just be on their game. It's like switch, like they need to switch. They don't have like time to, you know, imagine being a doctor and thinking about your breakup while you're having a
Yeah.
life or death situation.
Yeah.
Like they need to self-regulate, and you're like, wow, these people are like superhuman, because it's like you can't have feelings. Like imagine lawyers defending murderers. Like
Yeah.
the way these people can just leave all their shit at the door and walk in is unbelievable to me. And I mean, it probably brings a lot of like coping mechanism problems and shit. But if you're really able to do that work, like consciously, of bringing your unconscious into conscious and just like make it a whole, and just like bringing all that little package together, and just like you said, like you're able to really grasp it right away, like you did, you know, you grasp it right away, you see the positive, you're like, oh hell no, I'm not letting anything ruin today.
Yeah.
And then that took you 2 seconds, and you know, before it could have taken you like 10 minutes, you have a little
Yeah.
like, you know, little
Moment.
attitude, little moment, and then you come back, and then it starts to shorten, and you do it super quick, and it just becomes like easier, you know, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, and I think sometimes, like you said, what resonated with me the most was like that attitude thing. Because before I would, it wasn't an attitude, but for me it would be more of a like if something had pissed me off at an event, or like someone had pissed me off or something like that, it would ruin the whole day, and I would be, oh, but this person's done this. This has really annoyed me. This is going, and Max would be like, shut up, like you've done this, and this is the thing that's annoyed you. Like, look at the difference in how, like, high up
Yeah,
you should be versus how low this kind of situation actually is. Like, do you know what I mean?
right,
Measure them up and, like, get over it type thing. Obviously, it's always great to have a partner because you can moan to them and express your feelings to them and then smack done. Me and Matt kind of
right,
have a, we don't have a rule, but we kind of say, like, if there's something that's pissed us off, like, a lot, discuss it with each other, really go
yeah,
through it with each other, and then done. Like, we
and
don't have to keep
regulate,
bringing it, yeah,
fucking
don't keep bringing
regulate.
it up and being like, oh, I'm upset about this thing, and da 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 da. Like, you've done, there's one thing, that one thing, if you're really annoyed about it, just express how annoyed you are that one time, then done. Then you have to let it leave. I think that's a really good thing that, I guess, tip that people could take on if that's something that they can do. Express how you feel, like, to the fullest extent. If you're really fucking, like, angry or pissed off or upset, express it and then leave it at the door and say, okay, cool, next chapter, next
Yeah,
page,
girl.
let's move on.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard
mean,
though.
no, I mean, it's hard to find. I mean, I even find it hard to find a safe space or person to do that to. Like my safe
Oh,
my
yeah.
safe person that day happened to be like, I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but it wasn't, you know, the best strategy of mine,
Yeah.
like to like express, you know, and
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm like, I'm so, because I felt like I had nobody to like vent
Yeah.
to and express it. And as an adult, I should be like, this is not the time. I will need to express it this later, and I will call my mom or my therapist. But I'm like, I can't wait until Wednesday to talk about this. I need to talk about this now.
Yeah.
And I went to someone that, I mean, bless his soul, but you know, it just had no place to like
Yeah.
happen on that day specifically, the way that I've done it in like such a blah, 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 like
Yeah.
trash word.
Sometimes
Like
you just do though. Sometimes you just
I
do need
know,
to like
but you
let it
know,
out and stuff. But I
yeah,
know
but
what you
I
mean.
I love your rule in your relationship that I think it's great, but you need to find a safe person or a safe place, or just have your journal on you, girl, or just
Yeah.
pull your audio or talk to yourself. I know it
Or
doesn't
even
give
just
you the
film yourself.
same.
I know it sounds
Yeah,
really stupid. I've seen that a lot of the times where people do like video diaries and stuff where they like express how they feel in that moment where they're just talking to themselves. They don't have to play it back. They can even delete it if they want to, like after. Like deleting it is like a form of like erasing the emotion from you, or like some that's like
yeah.
a coping mechanism people have spoken about before.
But I think in those moments where we're like so ramped up with like anxiety, or just like, oh, that person, this, all we want to hear is that someone shared the same thought as us.
Yeah,
Like, I get you. Yeah, yes, you're angry. Like, I get it. Like, you're anxious. Like, don't let it bother you. You're so up there. Like, you're so this. Like, that's what we want to hear,
yeah,
or just like hear someone like tell us like, shut the fuck, like shut the f up,
yeah,
like, you know. But we want to hear something back. That's what we're chasing right now, because we're
yeah,
like, we feel so kind of alone, full of emotion, can't rest.
yeah.
But being able to self-regulate is so huge. I think it's such a skill to master in life. And tips and tricks, like, yeah, have a safe place, a partner, videos, a journal that's always handy, um, a close friend, front row friend. Thieves is always front row
Oh,
of my
front row
shit.
friend. Yeah, exactly
But
that. That's what
even
we
that,
need.
I would like, even that way, I wouldn't dump that shit on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
No, but
even that,
you.
I'm adult enough to be like, I'm not gonna dump that on her, like right now. You know?
But then also, I think equally understand that I also don't like anything that you dump on me, anything I dump on you. We don't take that in. Like I don't take that in,
Uh,
and for the rest of my day. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll
yeah,
be there with you in that moment,
yeah.
and then it's cut off.
You're
So
very, yes, you're very healthy. We have a very healthy friendship, and I'm so thankful for that, because in the past I would have like that specific girlfriend. She would be like, "So who we're gonna like blow their house?" Like, super aggressive, and I'm like, I'm not requiring that much from a friend. Like, it's like it doesn't
yeah,
have to be like that anymore,
yeah.
But when
No,
you're
I know
like
what you mean.
young and crazy, it's like, so who we're gonna, you're looking for that friend who's like, so who we're gonna blow their house, like, who, it's like,
Yeah. And you're like, no, we can't do that now. We're adults, and we don't need that shit in our on
we
our plates.
self-regulate. No more,
Yeah, exactly.
no more hitting people. We self-regulate.
Yeah,
All right, baby.
exactly.
I know you have to go. I can't wait for you to tell me about your week and catching up next
Yes.
week. But anyone that watched the podcast today, listens to the podcast on Spotify, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We love y'all so much. Make
Yes.
sure that you sign up on Patreon. We're keeping on posting there. It's
Woo.
so much fun because it's shorter episode, more specific, more targeted subject, exactly what you girls want to hear, girls and guys, y'all want to hear from us. And we're just ready to give you more. Say more, do more, be more in
Yes.
2024. All right,
Yeah.
babe.
Oh, that
I
all
wish
rhymed.
it was the same word. That was kind of easy.
That is when you said 2024. I was like, oh, that all
Oh,
rhymes.
oh, it does. Yeah, babe. That's why 2024 is our year. Let's
Yes.
manifest it.
We love
I
it.
love you. I love you. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for this week. I know it wasn't an
Me
easy week
too.
for you, for us, but
Yeah.
everything's gonna be worth it. And I can't wait for this week and to catch up with you next week.
Yes. Same.
Okay.
Right. We love you guys so much, and we will
Love
see you very
y'all.
soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.